The portals of enlightenment have opened, and your journey of mind, body, and spirit has begun. Welcome to Portals to Enlightenment. And now your host, psychic medium and traditional Chinese medicine practitioner and medical Qigong, radio show personality, as well as member of the Asian American Journalist and Media Association, psychic medium Sherry. Welcome everyone to Portals to Enlightenment, your journey of mind, body, and spirit. This is the first episode. We're going to be getting into this, giving you a little bit of a history of who psychic medium Sherry is, what she does, and what you can expect for the continuation of this show. This is going to be a weekly podcast heard every Saturday night, I believe is what the current plan is. You're going to have a new episode. It's going to have tons of different co-hosts, tons of different guests, just a complete and utter journey for your mind, body, and spirit. So going to just kick right over and introduce everyone to psychic medium Sherry.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. And I'm really looking forward to this show. I don't know if a lot of you guys recognize who I am, but I also have another podcast called Paranormal Horizons, which I'm a co-host with Jason Ophir, and we've been on I've been on radio for 3 years, but I'm really looking forward to branching out on my own. And Portals to Enlightenment was a thought of mine to think about me being a practitioner in Chinese medicine. We're looking at the balance of literally in the Chinese medicine aspects of body, mind, and spirit. How do I integrate that? How can my listeners learn from that? How can my listeners get value from what we talk about? And so it's kind of like a little seed that's just starting to sprout, and we're going to see about this journey and helping each other learn and share and grow and being able to just hopefully raise our consciousness to a higher level.
All right. So, you were also with us is, again, which actually I'm being, you've got not one but two co-hosts today, or normally we'll be doing one, but we're actually just guest and co-host for your first episode. So Michael Smith is also in here. He can actually chime in because we're basically I'm wanting to give everyone an idea of I guess the best way to start it is explain what is medical Qigong.
Medical Qigong is the fourth branch in Chinese medicine, and how I can explain it is the first branch is acupuncture. Most people know what acupuncture is. It's with the needles. You have 200 plus meridians in the body, and it's to help with those that are pain, treatments, chronic, acute, things like that. Could be for stress. It could be numerous things. It is an alternative medicine adjunct to allopathic medicine. And so everybody knows what acupuncture is. The second branch is herbs and nutrition. And herbs and nutrition is you go to see an herbalist and you're able to go and look at the different types of injuries or diseases or illness, and the herbalist can literally customize your tea to whatever problems you may have. And they also may help you as far as nutrition. What are the things you need to eat? What are the things to avoid? It's, again, very customized. The third branch in Chinese medicine is we call massage, and in Chinese we call it Twin Na massage. It's very deep, very very intense. Is very similar to rolfing. It can be very painful opening the channels in the body. The fourth branch, which I am in, is called medical Qigong, and that's basically I'm a medical intuitive. Without even having to go and feel or touch the human body, I'm able to see with my own psychic vision and be able to go and see and possibly feel away from a distance from the body to any imbalances of the body, including the internal organs, which is the heart, the liver, the lungs, the kidneys, and the spleen, the blood flow, how much qi there is, and also the bones and the joints in the body. So if there's any type of imbalances, I'm able to, I wouldn't say detect, but know if there's anything wrong and what the causes are. And I am not a medical doctor. I don't proclaim to be, but I do not make any type of diagnosis or prognosis in what I do. And the other part is the treatment itself. If a person has any type of imbalances, whether it's a pain or something, I'm able to wave my hands and feel without touching you, literally without touching you, to try and manipulate the energy so that your body's able to heal itself. I'm not a healer, but I'm able to help more often than not to help bring some balance in the body so that your body's able to heal itself. So that's what medical Qigong is.
Okay, that's you were talking about the branches of Chinese medicine, and you're incorporating like herbal treatments and different things like that. Now, do you do any of those, or
No,
no?
nope, not at all. I'm not trained in it, and I don't do. The only thing I do is medical Qigong because I've been at it for so long. It's just a second nature to me. And when I look at a person and see what kind, I know from a psychic level what can be possibly the cause. But again, I am not diagnosing. I just say maybe this may be the cause. It could be, if it could be from childhood, it could be trauma, it could be, emotional stuff. But then again, like I said, I have to be very careful. But I can say these are my suggestions and these are what I think it could be happening.
Yeah, I guess it'd be a good time to put in the disclaimer that, of course, while psychic medium Sherry has had a lot of success in working with these things, we always recommend going to a medical doctor first. And even after you are receiving treatment, make sure your medical doctor is always aware of what's going on and what you're doing to help your health. Because the medical doctors always should be the first line.
Absolutely.
Then you can reach out to other things. Like I will say myself, my medical doctors, I have I have arthritis in my ankles. So I get prescribed a lot of painkillers. I don't like taking medicine. For one thing, painkillers work extraordinarily well on me. Like over-the-counter Tylenol works as good for me as most people get with like naproxen or even something stronger like Percocet or something like that. Where I found that, and I still have problems walking. I still have pain. I found that it was Chinese mint oil. The mint oil works wonders on me.
We use that quite a bit. We
Yeah.
use that quite. It's wonderful. It's wonderful, and everybody's different. Some people it works really good. Some people it doesn't. So, again, Chinese medicine is very tailored to the individual, and it helps. May help with some of the things that are going on with the imbalances of the body. Absolutely.
Now, since we've covered that, again, like I said, we're only going to be going about a half an hour here, and it's going to be covering in broad strokes, but we're wanting to give all the listeners an idea of exactly what it is that they can expect with you, what it is you do. So, as I introduced you, we're Psychic Medium Sherry. Let's get into a little bit of the psychic medium side of it.
Okay, sure. Well, the psychic medium side, I've always had the gift. I really feel, and I've been told by many, many people that don't even know each other, and I've known this on a deeper level, that it's been a gift that's been given to me, and it's passed on actually in my DNA. And my children have it. It's just they haven't come to their power yet and to use it for the highest good. But I've always been psychic ever since I was a little child, and I've always seen people that have crossed over. So there is a difference. I am a psychic medium, but there is a difference. Being psychic is one thing, but being a medium is a difference. So when you put those together, I'm able to see, I'm able to hear, I'm able to feel those that have crossed over. And the psychic part of me is looking through the person, through the soul of that person, whether they're dead or alive, and tap into whether it's their energy, whether it's a human or it could be an animal. I can tap into their energy and be able to see the things that are happening from past life, present life, and possible future. Now, I guarantee as a psychic, most people think of Madame Cleo or somebody that say, "Oh, you're going to win the lottery," or you're gonna be, you're gonna have you're gonna be, having death or something. That's not what a true psychic is. A true psychic, I feel, is to guide that person so they can take control of their own health, and they have a certain amount of free will to their destiny. And that's what I feel as a true psychic, is being able to help those, add value, and giving them guidance so they can help create their destiny to the best, for the best. And sometimes it's not possible. There are things, maybe in this lifetime they're not able to heal, or they have to overcome certain things. But, we want to be able to empower and inspire these people that come to me and be able to make the best of the situation of what they have.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, when you hear the word psychic medium, they either have two images that pop into their head. It's either the old lady sitting there with the crystal ball going, "You're going to run away with someone tall, dark, and handsome," or you got Miss Cleo sitting there going, "Oh, he's cheating on you, girl." That kind of, like they used to. I honestly, I used to love the commercials. They were hilarious. But
Oh my
that's
gosh.
the image everyone gets in their heads about, about when you mention psychic medium. And it makes a very three-dimensional thing something very one-dimensional.
It is very much so.
Then that's like I said, that's what a lot of people get into their heads with it about it.
It's funny when I do a show, whether I'm doing gallery or I'm vending, I'm being a vendor, and some of these people walk by in my booth, even with my banners, and really look, professional. They give you that stink eye look, like, oh, I don't want to go near her. Like,
And
I don't want to be told the worst thing in my life, or I don't believe in her.
yeah,
But it is what it is. So
nobody wants to go. The bad thing is if you get a couple that goes in and you know, she looks at the guy and she's like, "Oh, she's cheating on you," and then she looks at the woman and you're about to run away with someone tall, dark, and handsome. That would be the worst, because then it would just be like a double whammy right there, and you catch both cliches in one.
well, the darndest thing is that I end up knowing anyway. Within a few seconds, I know what's going on with their body and their, whether it's their body with Chinese medicine or their life. So they can't hide anything from me. Once I open that door up, everything gets downloaded pretty fast.
Yeah, I was watching a TV show a while back, and it was funny. This guy went to three. They called them fortune tellers, but they were supposed to be three witches. And the one woman looks and she goes, "I'm better than the other two. I just don't make any money at it." And he's like, "Well, if you're better, then why don't you make any money at it? Because those two tell you what you want to hear. I tell you the truth."
That's true.
And it was funny. He had tea, and she was reading the tea leaves in the glass. And he's like, "No, you're good at it, so I'll let you read it." And he was, kind of sarcastic because he didn't believe in any of it. She looks at his glass and she goes, "So your mother died of cancer. You don't have to worry about that." Set it down. He never said anything. He literally met her like 20 minutes, and she just looks at his cup and goes, "So your mother died of cancer. You don't have to worry about that." Cool. And just set the cup down and walked off. But that's, like I said, you get, like you said, you get that look. And of course, a lot of people would not look at you and see a psychic medium, because that's not really, sadly, not only do we have the image of Miss Cleo and the gypsy woman with the the crystal ball, but that is, I guess, what you would assume all psychic mediums look like, because that's what we've been taught by Hollywood and everything. If they pass you on a street without the banners, they would never think twice. It's like,
That's right.
you're not going to be walking around with robes on and little sparkly, twinkly things and all of the stuff that we see in the TV and commercials and in TV when they're trying to sell their 1-800 or 1-900 numbers or whatever.
They wouldn't even think of that as a psychic medium. Absolutely, that's so true. And when a person comes down and sits down with a reading, or I'm doing a party or a gallery reading, the other part of me comes in, and I'm a normal person, so-called normal, as normal as I can be in this planet Earth. But no, when I sit down and read, that's when I open up the door. So I have the discipline and the free will of shutting it and closing it off. So, it's like, okay, it's time to read. Let's get to helping these people what they can hear, what they need to hear, and let's get the healing or the comfort or whatever started. And it's amazing. I truly love what I do. I just feel like I've been very blessed with the gifts of from the Creator and from my ancestors. I just, I love what I do. Absolutely. It comes with a passion.
All right. Well, as I was saying about making something three-dimensional very one-dimensional, we're going to have to take a quick cut here for a commercial break. After we come back on the other side of that break, we're going to get into the other dimensions of psychic medium Sherry. including your past as a marathon runner and now your new adventure in life, which is fitness training and to compete in a bodybuilding contest. So, like I said, we're going to take a quick break and come right back after that and get into the next chapter. Okay, we're back. And again, through the amazing power of the internet, it seems like no time at all has passed for us. And like I was saying before we left, you used to do marathon running, right?
I did 22 years of competitive running, and it's amazing. That's been a journey in itself. I started a running group called it'll be 23 years in January, called the Hague Lake Harriers. And we used to run around Hague Lake. On the road, it's 11 miles, and on the trails, it's about 15 miles. And we used to run every weekend, a long run. I've got 3 marathons under my belt, and I can't count how many half marathons I have, but I just decided to change of pace, not because of injury or anything like that. It's just like, okay, it's time for a different change of my life and something else to focus. So I decided, it took me 3 weeks to decide, but, I'm going to go into bodybuilding. So I'm right now been training in the last few months, actually last 4 months, and we'll be competing my first bikini competition, hopefully in August. So literally building my body and, different types of diet and workouts. And I got a wonderful coach, and she's just amazing. And, we're going to see about doing what I can and getting up on that stage and see what happens. So, yes, I love it, really enjoy it. It's part of my life.
This, as you were saying, you kind of changed things, and I'm one of those people too that I get very, I don't want to say bored with something, but you develop a new interest in life. I think everyone can safely say they do that as well. But, what is it that the bodybuilding, since I guess now we've covered the spirit and the mind, let's go into the body side of this journey. And how is bodybuilding training different from, like, say, marathon training?
Oh, it's totally different. It's like running a marathon every day. And when I train my body, it's like if nobody's really, if most people have never done a marathon, but after usually mile 20, 21, you go through a wall. And it's like mind over body. Your body wants to give out. There are times where you feel like mentally and physically that you can't handle any more than you do, and you push yourself until you know that you're going to finish the 5 or 6 miles you have that's left of you, and you go to the finish. And that's how it's like bodybuilding. You go until you can't. You go until failure, and it's challenging. There are days where there's so many different factors, whether it's stress, whether how much you eaten, if you eaten correctly, the time of day. It depends on your hormone levels. There's so many different factors, and how are you going to feel when you hit the gym? It's like running. Every day is so different. Temperature-wise, it could be hot, it became cold. So you have to be flexible, but push yourself and regulate yourself to the point where you go until, like I said, failure. So, but it's a journey. It's a different type of journey. I've learned a lot of tears in front of my other coach, my ex coach, and it makes you wonder why why I'm doing this. But I'm doing it because it's a focus, it's a discipline. They say 98 to 99% cannot follow through because it's very hard and regimented. I believe 100% it is something not that 99% of the people cannot do. It's very difficult. So it's, kind of upping the challenge and doing yoga. I've been teaching yoga for 8.5 years. I teach beginning and intermediate, and I teach a couple times a week. It gets me flexible. It keeps my skills of teaching in front of, whether it's 20 people or 50 people. I can teach, different variations of different asanas and things like that. So yoga and bodybuilding works hand in hand. It's wonderful.
So actually, that's a good, because like I was saying, I have problems with my knees and my ankles. Too much stupidity at a younger age is the easiest way to describe it. Too much stupidity at a younger age.
Well, they say, like with running as an example, or it could be bodybuilding. If they say, oh, yeah, you get injured, I think that it's not the sport itself, it's how much you do and how far you push yourself, which can lead to injury. So it's not running that itself that causes injuries. It's most of us, when you are really an athlete, and I can say I am an athlete myself, when you become an athlete, your mindset is you push through pain.
Oh, yeah.
You really do. And you don't say, okay, I'm going to hurt. You're hurting, even at a pain level 5 or 6, you got to push yourself until you break. And that's how you learn to get tough. And sometimes when you get over that threshold, that's when you have pain. Sometimes you don't even think about it until a couple of days later that, oh my gosh, I tore some ligaments or I tore some tendons. It's crazy, So that's part of the learning process and part of the journey is learning about your body, your mind, and your spirit. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I know. My main, I guess you'd say, athletic endeavor was when I was in school. I was a football player, and you didn't stop. It didn't matter if something hurt. It didn't matter. I have broken fingers and like gone over to the sideline and have them tape 2 fingers together and go, not even, it's just, that's the way you you create your body. I guess you would say you kind of train your body to respond to that.
Yes, you do.
When you get hurt, you just go, okay, I'm hurt. Let's take care of it now. And I'll, like I said, I was in the gym lifting weights with 2 broken fingers, that kind of thing. I've had, pulls, I've had tears, I've had all of this stuff that's where the stupidity part comes in. As I was saying, the stupidity of a younger age, because had I known now had I known then what I know now, I would have known, no, I need to rest it. I need to take it easy, do a half workout from my normal routine, that kind of thing. Because if I don't, I'm going to end up making it much, much worse. Now I'm pushing 40 and almost feel like I'm pushing up daisies. It's that kind of thing. So well, I definitely.
Is my tagline for my business, and I really feel this could be applied to the portals to enlightenment. But it's not about being perfect. It's about being whole. So we're trying to find the balance of how do we become whole.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just trying to do that, and I think there's a lot of people, and I know. As I have lost, or actually I haven't lost shape, I found a new shape, and it's called round. And, as I moved from the athletic side into the, you go with normal life. I mean, it's just, I'm not in a position where I go and play football and work out and everything 3-4 hours a day. I don't have that kind of time. It's just something. But now that I've gotten out of the shape I'm in, or I was in, and I'm into the new shape of round, I often find myself, I guess you would say, feeling discouraged because I can't do what I used to do. Because my mind, it's kind of like the Toby Keith song, your mind says you can do it, boy, but your body says, oh no, you can't. And it's kind of that same thing. It's looking at me going like, listen, I know you used to do this, but you got to remember you were like 17 or 18 at the time. You're not 17 or 18 now. That was more than 17 or 18 years ago. So, you've got that kind of wear on you, like I said. And like someone, let's say someone in my position is not necessarily looking at bodybuilding or anything, but let's just say want to get into yoga. What would be the best method of maybe starting that?
It depends on what you have. If you have mobility problems or anything like that, I would probably start as an instructor. I'd probably start with chair yoga. It is something very simple, and you can always start out with the upper body and do what you can. Chair yoga is something very elementary, and it's something where we all start. If you can get on the floor and actually do some simple exercises on the floor, like doing a cat and cow where you're on your hands and knees and you're just kind of you're curving the spine, and then you curve one spine in one way with your head up, and you curve your spine downward where your chin is towards your chest. That's something simple. That's really good for the spine. Do something very simple, and it's easier, to be honest with you. It's kind of easier for me. I'm a very visual person, but I would rather show you. It's so much easier to try and show you than try and illustrate to you by words how to do it, unless it's very simple. Some of these exercises can be very complicated, like how do you do the crow pose, or how do you do the bridge pose, so it has to be very articulate with the wording. And so it can be, the way I teach in yoga, I teach so many modifications. It's not like everybody is a robot and you have to sync with everybody. The way I feel is you walk in, you come into my studio, you feel, you need to stretch and, open up the sinews and joints and things like that. If you walk away feeling better, lighter, less pain, I did my job as an instructor. So yoga is wonderful. Try out with just sitting down, doing yoga, sitting down, and just start moving the trunk area with the digestion. It's what's really nice is Tai Chi and Qigong, which I used to teach. It used to be my family style, Ping family, Qigong and Tai Chi. The Qigong and Tai Chi opens up the heart, the liver, the lungs, the kidneys, and the spleen, whereas yoga, it concentrates more the bones and the joints and the sinews. So, it's between both of them. It's a good complementary. But again, you need to consult with your physician and make sure that you're okay and have the permission to start any type of exercise program.
Yeah, of course. I always check with a physician to make sure you're going to be able to, be healthy enough to do that. I know that you brought up, I'm trying not to call it chai tea because I always get it mixed up. Tai Chi, because believe it or not, I actually used to do that. I mean, I can't really do it here now because for me personally, I like doing it outdoors, and I have extraordinarily ticklish feet, but it is the one time I wanted to be barefoot.
Oh, wow.
On the grass, I want to feel, I don't know. For me, when I started doing it, I noticed it when I first started, you feel an energy. If that makes any sense, you feel an energy. And for me, I did it with shoes on, and I didn't really get it, but I kept on because, I'm one of those people that I'll try something over and over again. And I don't know. I was just actually showing somebody some of the moves, and I was standing by my fire pit. I didn't have any shoes on, and it was like, whoa, you can almost feel like a current, an electrical current or an energy moving through you.
That's amazing. And those are the things that we're going to cover during the show as each episode, not each and every episode. I like to have a variety. We're going to cover the body, the mind, and the spirit. So the body means that we can cover nutrition. We can cover about Tai Chi. We can cover about yoga. We can cover about how can we, possibly, eat better. How can we possibly feel better? And we look at the mind. What are your goals? How can we get to our goals? How can we feel better? Those kind of things. The spirit, how can we become more at peace and less stressful? So we'll have episodes of different tips on how to deal with stress and how to return inward. How can we do some meditation techniques on different things to help uplift your spirit? So integrating all those things, I think we'll have a very good variety, and our listeners can pick and choose what they want to listen to for the half an hour that I'll be on.
Yeah. Speaking of the half an hour, we are actually quickly approaching about the half an hour mark. Just before we wrap it up, is there anything else you want to just kind of throw in about yourself, or what, maybe what your plans are for the show coming up, if you have any guests picked out or anything like that?
Yes. Okay. So I'm really looking forward to, we're going to have Andrea Peron. We're going to start out at the new moon, I believe January 5th. This is Saturday. Is that January 5th? I
believe it is. I'll have to double check on my calendar here.
So we're going to have Andrea Peron, and those who don't know who she is, the show called The Conjuring, it's a movie hit. Conjuring 1, 2, and 3. The Conjuring number 1 was based of her family. She's the oldest, I believe, of five daughters. And Andrea has been on my show numerous times on Paranormal Horizon. She's coming in, just a lovely soul, very, very wonderful friend. And she's going to be co-hosting my actual first episode of this. And we're going to talk about her new book and how it's going to empower those that are trying to raise their vibration and the things to be aware of and things like that. And I'm just really looking forward to having her on the show. And so, it's really, I just really feel very grateful and appreciative that she's, going to spend her time just helping us out and helping those that are listening. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. And there's going to be different guests and, like I said, different topics from finances we can cover. I mean, it just opens up the gamut. Those that want to listen can listen for a half an hour.
That sounds like that is a good idea. And like I do want to say that one will be out with the new moon on Saturday, January 2nd at 5:30 p.m.
Moon? Okay, is it January 2nd?
Yes, it is actually going to be January 2nd.
Okay, good. Okay, that's fine. Sorry about that. I just got a lot on my plate. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The 5th actually is in the middle of the week. But yeah, that it's going to be January 2nd. It is a Saturday at 5:30. Of course, well, this one, in case you're listening to it, that's going to be Saturday is going to be the normal day of the week that show is going to be released.
Okay, January 1st is the Tuesday, so January 2nd is the Wednesday, correct?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at January. I thought I was looking at December's calendar. You're absolutely right. January 5th, the new moon is on Saturday, January 5th. I am actually wrong about that. 5:30,
new moon. We're going to go and that'll be great.
Yeah, this one, on the other hand, this one will be coming out the 22nd. Yeah, I'd rolled my calendar over and didn't realize it. So, yeah, that is where, of course, that's, like I said, that one will be out on the 5th. Don't expect it on the 2nd because the 2nd is Wednesday, and the Wednesday, that just doesn't make any sense because we're doing it on every Saturday. So, now, since we are approaching the end, shall I take the shameless plugging of all the different stuff, or would you like to try to get through all of it this time?
Go ahead and get through all of that.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Well, now, to like, subscribe, or follow the podcast, you can always find it on iTunes, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, right on speaker, where that is going to be the normal home of it, Google Play, or anywhere else you find podcasts. Believe me, I can't name them all because there's probably about 25 or 30 different ones it's going to be on. And if you want to find it, you can find it. Trust me, that's going to be everywhere. And of course, we also are going to be having Psychic Medium Sherry is. She's going to be offering special readings and things like that on her site. You can always check her out, find out anything she's doing and anything about her, or schedule your own reading simply going to www.tinyurl.com/SherryWebb. Easiest way to find, or
Facebook, Psychic Medium Sherry.
Yeah, or Facebook.com, and I believe it's at Psychic Medium Sherry, but it's like, as they just search her up. She's the only one you'll find. There is another Psychic Sherry, but it's not Psychic Medium Sherry. But yeah, you can find it on Facebook. Of course, all of that is going to be easier to find by simply scrolling down into the description of the episode you just listened to, where all of this is sitting there with links, where all you have to do is hit the button. It'll open a browser and take you right to it. Easiest way to find it, period. So, is there anything we want to throw in before we call it a day for the week?
Well, really quickly, yes, you can find me on Psychic Medium Sherry on Facebook, but the other Psychic Medium Sherry, or the other Sherry, that's a psychic medium, her forte is infertility. So I just want to share that with you.
Oh, well, that's actually interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it worked like that. But hey,
yes,
you learn. See, that's the important part of this show. Every episode you listen to, you will walk away having learned something new.
And yes, I just really want to empower, inspire, and be able to share the things that I have researched or or learned or whatever, and just help those that are listening in the half an hour. So I'm excited, and please listen. We'd love to have some feedback and just be able to make the show a success.
All right, so
it is a success. Yay.
So I guess then for the week, this has been the co-host Joel for Portals to Enlightenment, correct? We've been going back and forth on the name a little bit, so that confuses me. And of course, I want to call it 5 other names. All right, actually, I guess before we do go, we did miss one other thing, because of course, Psychic Medium Sherry is the co-host every week, Sunday at 8 p.m. I didn't mess it up this time. 8 p.m. Pacific time on Paranormal Horizons.
Yes, and I'm also a paranormal consultant with
PNBC, where if you want to find out any information about Paranormal North Coast, British Columbia, you can find that on Facebook at Paranormal BC or www.paranormalbc.com. And I think we have gotten everything in and everything mentioned and haven't forgotten anything, at least nothing too crucial. So for Psychic Medium Sherry and Michael, who has been the quiet one listening here, kind of producing as we go, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. And Psychic Medium Sherry, we'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody. Peace.